Absolute Batman explained. What if Batman never inherited billions? What if there was no Wayne Manor, no endless fortune, no army of employees building gadgets beneath Gotham? What if Bruce Wayne grew up surrounded by the very people Gotham forgot? That is the central question behind DC's biggest reinvention of the Dark Knight in years, Absolute Batman. Part of DC's new Absolute Universe, this version of Batman takes everything fans know and flips it upside down. The result is a darker, angrier, and more brutal Bruce Wayne who may be one of the most dangerous versions of Batman ever created. Today we're diving deep into the Absolute Batman series, exploring the new universe, Bruce Wayne's origins, his allies, enemies, biggest battles, and what makes this version so different from the Batman readers have known for decades. The Absolute Universe. Before we talk about Batman, we need to understand where he comes from. The Absolute Universe is not the main DC universe. It's an entirely separate reality born from the events surrounding the villain known as Darkseid. This new reality is designed to challenge the heroes at their core. Instead of making heroes stronger, the universe removes many of the advantages that traditionally help shape them. For Batman, that means one thing: no massive fortune, no billionaire lifestyle, no endless resources. The Absolute Universe asks a terrifying question. If Bruce Wayne had almost nothing, would he still become Batman? The answer is yes, but he becomes something far more frightening. A very different Bruce Wayne. In most versions of Batman, Bruce Wayne is born into one of Gotham's wealthiest families. His parents are respected members of society. Their murder becomes the defining tragedy of his life. Absolute Batman changes almost everything. Bruce grows up much closer to Gotham's working class. The city isn't something he observes from a mansion on a hill. It's something he experiences every day. The corruption, the crime, and the violence, the hopelessness. Instead of becoming a polished billionaire playboy, Absolute Bruce develops into a physically imposing force of nature. This Batman is huge, massive, powerful, built more like a heavyweight fighter than a stealthy detective. Readers immediately notice that this version resembles a living tank. Every punch feels devastating. Every confrontation feels dangerous. This isn't a man who relies on expensive gadgets. This is a man who became a weapon. Batman without billions. One of the biggest changes in the series is how Batman operates. Traditional Batman often uses advanced technology, satellites, aircraft, artificial intelligence, massive computer systems. Absolute Batman doesn't have those luxuries. Instead, he relies on ingenuity, improvisation, pure determination. His equipment is built from necessity. Everything feels rougher, heavier, more practical. The result is a Batman who often feels closer to a survivalist than a superhero. When he enters a fight, he isn't protected by endless resources. He wins because he's smarter, tougher, and willing to push himself further than anyone else. Gotham City is worse than ever. Every version of Gotham is dangerous, but the Absolute Universe makes the city feel especially broken. Crime isn't simply a problem, it's woven into the city's foundations. Corruption spreads through every level of society. The wealthy exploit the poor. Power belongs to those willing to take it. The city constantly feels on the verge of collapse. This environment helps explain why Absolute Batman is so aggressive. He's not fighting isolated criminals. He's fighting an entire system, a machine that creates suffering. And unlike many versions of Batman, he doesn't seem interested in playing by anyone's rules. The symbol of the bat. The bat symbol has always represented fear. Criminals see it and know Batman has arrived. But in the Absolute Universe, that symbol feels even more intimidating. Everything about this Batman is designed to make criminals panic. His size, his armor, his presence, his willingness to walk directly into danger. Many readers have compared him to a horror movie monster. Imagine being a criminal in Gotham. The lights go out. The room becomes silent. And suddenly a giant armored figure emerges from the darkness. That's what Absolute Batman represents: pure fear. His relationship with Alfred. One of the most fascinating aspects of the series is its treatment of familiar characters. In traditional continuity, Alfred Pennyworth is Bruce's loyal butler, father figure, and closest friend. Absolute Batman reimagines that relationship. Alfred remains important, but the dynamic is dramatically different. Instead of simply being a servant in Wayne Manor, Alfred becomes a more compel, the absolute version of the rogues. No Batman story is complete without villains. The Absolute Universe isn't interested in giving readers simple copies of classic enemies. Instead, familiar characters are rebuilt from the ground up. Their motivations change, their backgrounds evolve. Their connection to Gotham becomes deeper and often more disturbing. The result is a rogues gallery that feels fresh even to longtime Batman fans. Readers never know exactly what to expect. Characters they thought they understood suddenly become unpredictable, and that makes every encounter more dangerous. Why this Batman is so popular. Absolute Batman became an immediate hit for several reasons. First, it feels different. After decades of stories, Batman has been reimagined countless times, yet Absolute Batman manages to feel genuinely new. Second, the series embraces scale. Everything is larger, the action is bigger, the emotions are stronger, the stakes are higher. Third, readers connect with this version of Bruce Wayne. Without wealth, his accomplishments feel even more impressive. Every victory must be earned. Every piece of equipment must be created. Every battle requires sacrifice. He can't solve problems by writing a check. He has to become the solution himself. The themes of Absolute Batman. At its heart, Absolute Batman isn't really about gadgets, or villains, or costumes. It's about resilience. It's about asking whether a hero can still exist when everything is taken away. Can Bruce Wayne still become Batman without privilege, without resources, without safety? The series argues that he can, because Batman was never truly created by money. He was created by willpower. The Absolute Universe strips away the advantages and leaves only the determination. What remains is arguably the purest version of Batman's mission, a man who refuses to surrender, no matter the cost. What makes Absolute Batman unique? When fans discuss the series, several qualities are mentioned repeatedly: a more brutal physical Batman, a working-class Bruce Wayne, a darker Gotham, reimagined villains, a completely fresh universe, and a feeling that absolutely anything can happen. Because this isn't tied to decades of continuity, the writers have freedom to take risks. Characters can change, relationships can evolve. The future remains unpredictable. That's a major reason readers keep coming back. The future of the series. The Absolute Universe is still expanding. Batman remains one of its flagship titles, alongside new interpretations of heroes like Superman and Wonder Woman. As the universe grows, connections between heroes and villains continue to develop. New mysteries emerge, new threats appear, and Batman stands at the center of it all, a symbol of resistance in a world designed to crush hope. Outro. Absolute Batman asks a question that fans have debated for years. Was Bruce Wayne defined by his wealth or by his determination? The series gives a clear answer: take away the mansion, take away the fortune, take away every advantage, and Bruce Wayne still becomes Batman. Only now he's bigger, meaner, more relentless, and perhaps more terrifying than ever before. Because in the Absolute Universe, Batman isn't a billionaire fighting crime. He's a survivor fighting an entire world. And that's what makes Absolute Batman one of the most fascinating reinventions of the Dark Knight in modern comics.